Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 2 items to go. Last 2 items of this activity in math. Alright? So now we're down to item 3-9. In 3-9, what type of figure is this, eh? Let's go to item 3-9 and find out. So for this figure, the item is something really awkward. There's a trapezoid, a semicircle, and a quarter of a circle. That's so crazy. But don't worry, it's still easy to solve for the entire figure, the perimeter, and the area. How do we do that? That's easy. First, let's take a look at the measures. To solve for the perimeter, we have the measure of the long line, which measures 6 plus 8 inches. But remember, that pertains to the entire figure itself. Then the height is 4x plus 2 inches, which is this one. And then this thing here, we do not know what's the measure here. And with this one either. And remember, it says that this one here is 3x minus 7 inches. We do not know what's the measure of everything. So I think you guys want to give up. But for me, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. If you look at the height measures 5x minus 4 inches. So what do we do about that? Let's see what we can do. But first, is there a clue that can help us? It's right here. It says here that sail is a rectangle whose perimeter is 200 inches. Ayan. So ito yun. Di ba remember ito yung rectangle mo? So S-A-I-L. So did you know this figure looks like a rectangle? And we can still solve for the value of x with this. How? Remember when we talk about perimeter, kasi nga it talks about the sum. Ganito kasi yung nangyari. Remember, the perimeter is 200 inches. Just like what is stated here. The perimeter is 200 inches. So we know that this is 3x plus 7 inches plus 4x plus 2 inches. Double that. And then equal to 200. Let me write that for you. Okay, so ganito yung solution namin. This stands for the perimeter. This one stands for the measure of every dimension. So you have 3x minus 7. Double check. Is it 3x minus 7? Yes, it is. And then 4x plus 2, which is the other one. Now let's solve for the following. First, with 2 times 3x, that's 6x, right? Apply distributive property. This is negative 14 plus 8x plus 4 equals 200, right? Now, we can combine like terms. Combining like terms, we should get 14x, then this should be negative 10 is equivalent to 200, right? Now, we're back to two-step equation. Add both sides by 10, you get 14x is equivalent to 210. Divide both sides by 14, you get x as 15. 15 what? 15 inches. But don't celebrate yet. Because remember, we need to input that for the values. Alright? So now you have x is equivalent to 15 inches. So therefore, let every value of x represent 15. Here's how. Okay, so we have 4x plus 2 inches. 4 times 50, let x be 15. What's the measure? That's supposed to be 62 inches. So ganito yun. Let me write it for you. Now, as you can see though, we've already solved for the value of x. And with that, we've already plugged it in to our values of x with 15, and we got this. 4 times 15 is 60, plus 2 is 62 inches. 6 times 15 is 90, plus 8 is 98. 5 times 15 is 75, minus 4, 71. Then 45 minus 7, 38. Okay, so that's the measures that we see here. Now, can we solve for the rest of the following? We sure can. Let's see which can we start first. Yung mga pinakamadali. Let's see what it is. Alam ko na. Remember the diameter, just like what I told you last time? We can start with this one first. So we know that this is 62. Therefore, this has got to be 31. 31 inches, 31, 31 on both sides. So therefore, this one din must be 31. Because this one and this one are identical. Pero I think we can't always entrust that because baka mali mo, there might be something else. Okay? But remember, we got 62. So therefore, yes, the height, kasi nyo diba remember it says the height is 71. But the height of the rectangle is 62 inches. So therefore, the remnant height must be 9. We deduct. So we should get 9 inches. Alright? I forgot to put one more thing pala. Do you see the trapezoid here? The trapezoid has 9 times x. So 9 times x, that's 9 times 15, that's 135 degrees. So we have 135 degrees. Of course, do you remember just what I told you with the area of the trapezoid, this is where you can get the height. Ang height na kukunin mo ay dito. Dito mo kukunin yung height. So if this is 135 degrees, this should be 45 degrees. This one is also 45. So therefore, we form the 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. And you know naman the relationship of a 45, 45, 90 degree triangle, di ba? The hypotenuse is always the two legs, the value of one leg, times the square root of 2. Okay? But to be honest, remember it says the height is 9. So therefore, this one here must be 9 times the square root of 2. So this one here, 9 times the square root of 2, ito yun. And then it happens on the right side din. 9 times the square root of 2 inches din. Okay? But we have a bit of a problem. What about this part? Because we have 38 here, so we need to subtract 9 times square root of 2 on both sides. We need to subtract that so that we can get the measure of this part. So how do we do this? First, let's calculate the value of 9 times the square root of 2 in our calculator. Yes, ang 9 times the square root of 2 is equivalent to 12.72. 12.72 inches. So 12.72 inches. Okay? So ganito kasi yung measure. So 12.72, keep that in store. O sige, susulatin namin. Yes. So that's the value, alright? So now we already have 12.72 inches. 12, okay? Now look. Remember we have the two legs. Yes. Do you remember the two legs of the triangle? We have 9 and then this is also 9. Actually, you can also play SOHCAHTOA for that matter. You know SOHCAHTOA? This is the angle that you're working on. This is the hypotenuse and this is the adjacent. We know that this is 45 degrees and this should also be 45 degrees. Right? So hypotenuse over adjacent, what's the answer? Hypotenuse over adjacent is cosine. So therefore, cosine, let me write it for you. Cosine, wait lang ha. Yes, cosine of 45 is equivalent to 9 divided by h. What we can do cross multiplication. So therefore, it will go like this. Cosine of 45 times h is equivalent to 9. Divide both sides by the cosine of 45, leaves you h. So 9 divided by cos of 45. Yan. Let's input this on a calculator. So we have 9 divided by the cosine of 45. Did we still get 12.72? Ta-da! Yes, at least angle SOHCAHTOA works. Thank the Lord Jesus. You got it. Now going back to our trapezoid, as you can see here, we got 9 and 9. So remember, the entire measure must be 38. So what must be the measure above? If your answer is 38 minus the double 9s, you are correct. So therefore, the top part must be 18 inches. Very good. 18 inches. Pero we're still not yet done. Kasi what if I remember, look, we still need to get the measure of this part. This is a bit tricky. So remember, we have 31 here, 18 in 31 plus 38. Remember, the entire is 98. So what we do is 98 minus the summation of the two. 31 plus 38 is 69. 98 minus 69 equals, this is 9. 8 minus 6 is 29. So tama. The part from here to here, this part, or the measure of IN, is 29 inches. Double check with CalQ. 98 minus the sum of 21, 31, plus 38. Tama, 29. So that's the measure of the radius, alright? Then, for the height, of course, di ba I told you kanina, this is not supposed to be 31, although you're just assuming. Pero sa totoo lamang, this is not 31. So this what you do. Remember, this is 1/4 of a circle, right? You know by definition means this is a radius. Because as you can see, if you were to draw this can form an entire circle. But this part that you see here forms 1/4 of it. You will see it later when we solve for the area of the circle. So this is also 29 inches din. Both ways. And now, look. Remember the entire height is 71. We got 9 from here, and we got 29 inches here. But remember, it's 62, right? So we should only work this one. So 62 minus 29. That's the measure of AQ. And 62 minus 29 equals, 12 minus 9 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 33. So hindi siya 31, although I tricked you. Kasi boy, thought kasi, this one has the same measure as this one. Kaya lang don't trust that because they might have a different measure. So now, did you get all the measures done? If you did, then that's good. Now, we're going to show you how to do the perimeter and area of the figure. So be sure to watch it in the next video if you want to know the process.